Did this TikToker lie about using fake eyelashes in a mascara video? Even after she said that she was not using falsies in the comments, but a lot of people claimed that they could very clearly see the falsies right here. And why does this fucking matter? We need to talk about false advertising. We need to talk about it in the influencer industry, in the digital industry, and about parasocial relationships. Basically these relationships that are built on trust that people like Michaela have with their audiences that brands like L'Oreal don't. But why people, specifically women like Michaela, usually get the brunt of this criticism instead of the brands or other people who logically are just as involved and responsible, if not more. It's about violation of trust in the parasocial relationship. And what is a parasocial relationship? I'm sure we all had like that one friend in the 6th grade who was obsessed with an actor, actress, musical artist, somebody, and was like convinced that they were going to get married. The rise of social media, this has become more prevalent than ever. And this is not inherently bad. Sometimes parasocial relationships can be wonderful. You can be motivated, inspired, or enlightened and educated by somebody online. And these parasocial relationships can have a huge impact on someone's development, especially at a time where we're so lonely, especially if you grew up with caretakers who didn't meet your emotional needs. You may have looked for some of these relationships to fill a gap, and they can be wonderful unless they are exploited. With Michaela, it feels like a best friend just stabbed us in the back, right? And that's why people are mad at Michaela, not L'Oreal, because they did not have this parasocial relationship with the brand L'Oreal. They didn't have this trust, but Michaela did. All of this started when a TikTok makeup reviewer named Michaela posted a sponsored post with L'Oreal.
Look how long and lengthened my lashes look.
This literally just changed my life.
She's done many sponsorships before, and she has gotten criticism in the past for things such as filtering her skin when doing makeup looks or changing the shape of her body. But at the same time, a lot of people love her for body positivity, for opening up about the things that she's been through in the past and some of her personal journeys. Now in this video, people were very confused about the lashes. It almost looked like they grew and more were added. But in the comments, Michaela said, oh, that just shows that this mascara is one of the best, like no falsies were used. But I'm not the only one with thoughts. Apparently a lot of other people have thoughts too.
You know what's more embarrassing and pathetic than that makeup influencer Michaela Nagura or whatever lying about that L'Oreal mascara? Canceling her over mascara.
Some people are actually defending her, saying that we shouldn't be surprised by this. Other OG makeup influencers like Raw Beauty Christie are coming out of the woodwork, speaking why this is disheartening to them. And even Jeffree Star, who stopped posting makeup reviews on the internet, decided to use this as a way to come back with his makeup reviews.
Taking 2 months off from reviewing makeup, and girl, y'all really awoken up the Loch Ness Monster.
A lot of influencers and content creators are speaking about how instances like this with Michaela suck so bad. Because for those who are honest in the industry, it gives everybody a bad name.
Stuff like this is why people do not trust influencers.
I think that it's our responsibility and duty as influencers to keep our authenticity. It's what we have. And it's really unfortunate because then everybody starts to think everybody's a liar.
I'm just like, that really sucks. Like for the rest of us who are so honest, that really sucks.
And I mean, look at me! Now I'm sitting here commenting on mascara when I myself have lash extensions and primarily focus on skincare and anatomy and biology and how it relates to our beauty. Now, I have spent quite a bit of time in the modeling industry. You're probably aware if you've been here, but if you haven't, I actually started my career as a model with acne. And it was horrible to look in the mirror and see one thing that I hated, but to look at the photos that I did in magazines or on billboards or in catalogs and not see the acne and feel like that's me, but it's not me. That's what started this journey in YouTube back in 2010. But at the same time, I've seen some of the deceptive that happens in advertising. I have literally been photoshopped beyond recognition in many advertisements, and as a model, I couldn't do anything about that because I didn't have rights to the images. Again, there are actually some images that I did creatively that I love, 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 but they don't even fucking look like me. Like, that doesn't even look like my nose. It's because it's Photoshop. That doesn't even look like me. It's a blonde. That's Barbie. What? What? That's Sia. What? I was also listening to what other people were saying about this online. There were some people who were saying that they did see the false lashes, and some people who were saying that they did not see the false lashes, and they completely believed Michaela. But here's the thing. I remembered that she had a video from ages ago where she actually spoke about mascara ads being deceptive in advertising. And I almost forgot that this had even happened.
With this mascara is absolutely incredible. Look at the difference. So I just lied straight to your face, and you probably believed it. These lashes totally fake.
Now, what Michaela is saying here is true. Mascara advertisements lie. Beauty advertisements lie. Food advertisements lie. There are food commercials where they use non-edible substances to make food look more appetizing or appealing, or have ice cream that doesn't melt because it's not actually made of ice cream. If you look at a photo in a magazine or an advertisement, you can bet that that skin is photoshopped. If you look at mascara ads, they now have to disclose whether or not they're wearing false eyelashes, but they didn't always have to do that. And L'Oreal, the very brand that sponsored this post by Michaela, actually got in trouble for this back in 2007. Apparently, L'Oreal tried to do in-print and video ads that were taken down in the UK. They said it was false advertising because they didn't disclose that fake eyelashes were used. And yes, L'Oreal got a lawsuit for this. Since then, mascara ads have had to disclose whether or not fake eyelashes are being used, and a makeup artist even came out and shared her experience, as she is one of the people that actually does the makeup for some of these huge commercials.
So this is my makeup. Everything that you see here, these are lash campaigns. And again, we are not allowed to use any false lashes or any Photoshop or editing.
Now, as I was watching and listening to all of this, I was also looking at Photoshop. And when I literally take the before image and drag it over the after image and line up the lashes, you can see exactly where the lashes are and where more lashes, fake eyelashes that cross over each other in sets of 3 have been added. Again, this was so disheartening to me. I know that she's an influencer. I know that she's getting paid for this advertisement. Not all advertisements, not all sponsorships are bad. I believe a lot of her reviews, but unfortunately, this is a blatant lie. And it's not just the fact that it's a lie, but she's also going into the comments blatantly telling people that no false eyelashes are used when other people can see that they're right there. And then when I pull this into Photoshop, when I enhance it beyond reasonable suspicion, this to me looks exactly like the eyelashes that she has used.
Y'all, I just got this email. Ardell is not wasting time. Well played.
Now, Ulta jumped on the bandwagon real quick. I don't think this is legitimate, but apparently at one Ulta store, they took an old advertisement with Michaela's face and literally drew on some fake eyelashes, put L'Oreal at the top, and just put that up in the store, and then literally put the telescopic mascara from L'Oreal right next to that little sign. I don't think that was approved by management, but apparently that happened. Now, a lot of people are probably sitting here and thinking, Cassandra, why the energy? Like, Kim, people are dying.
Diamond earring came off in the ocean and it's gone. And there's people that are dying.
I do agree. This is a lot of energy on a mascara commercial when there are many worse things happening in the world right now. But I think this gets to the deeper issue of, again, parasocial relationships with influencers and their audiences, as well as truth in advertising and the standards that we hold content creators as well as ourselves to. People are mad because they're saying that they trusted her. They never trusted a L'Oreal, but she is someone who they cried along with her body insecurities. They followed her along her wedding journey. This is someone that they felt close to, that they trusted for reviews, who has now stabbed them in the back. And there's 14 million people plus who might be in this position. Whereas other people are actually saying, who cares? Advertisements lie all the time. Let her get her coin. She's trying to pay for a new wedding. She's 23. Give the girl a break. And there are very differing opinions on both sides of this. And specifically, some influencers came out trying to basically excuse her, saying, everyone lies, don't they? Why is this a problem?
Why are you guys hating on somebody for lying? Granted, maybe she's lying, maybe she's not. So what?
It's literally a problem because it's dishonest. And just because TV commercials or food commercials do it does not make it okay for anyone else to do it. And on top of that, it is this blatant degradation of trust, this absolute destruction of this parasocial relationship where someone feels connected and cathartic from watching this information, and they're literally being exploited because of this. Again, yes, she obviously made a mistake. Yes, she's trying to pay for a wedding, and yes, she's only 23, but 23 is a damn well adult. You know good from bad, and you know deceptive advertising versus truthful advertising. And this is just not okay. And even if you have weddings or things to pay for, guess what? A lot of people have bills to pay. And a lot of people are spending money on these products that certain influencers are recommending and still trying to pay their bills at the same time. And that is another reason this is such a betrayal of trust. And like Rob Reedy Christie and Kathleen Light said, it's a degradation of the community as a whole. Again, I love Michaela's content. I've been a fan of hers since I found her a year or two ago. And I used to trust her reviews. I now cannot do that as someone who literally consumes content like a fan and follower, but also bridges this influencer world where I've seen a lot of people do a lot of deceptive things. It does happen, and I think it needs to be called out, and I think that responsibility needs to be taken. It's dishonest. It destroys credibility. And one influencer was even saying that he feels that all influencers are guilty of overhyping content sometimes. I agree.
If I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate where the beauty community's at. Every product seems to be the best thing ever. What happened to makeup just being good? I feel like as content creators, we fall into this trap where we focus on pleasing the algorithm for views.
And I do think that a lot of influencers, especially newer ones, are guilty of overhyping products. But there is finesse in this industry, and I get it. If an influencer just sits here and says, oh, this mascara is okay, it's not gonna go viral. It's not gonna sell like this does. I believe that any person who is speaking about products online, especially if they consider it part or their full job, you have a duty to be responsible, to be honest, and to have some loyalty to your audience that literally built this platform and gave you this opportunity in the first place. Again, I get very visceral about this because I know what it feels like to be the 16-year-old with massive amounts of acne who went to Sephora, spent my entire $90 paycheck that I got from telemarketing at a home improvement company on a product that didn't work. And I know how hard someone has to work to earn the money to buy that product, especially in today's economy. And I think that there is this thing that happens to content creators or influencers once they hit a certain amount of notoriety. PR, basically public relations firms, start sending them products, and they forget what it is like to actually be a consumer. That kind of happened to me with makeup. I at first was buying all this makeup, and then it started getting sent to me, and then I kind of lost touch what it felt like to actually be a consumer. And that's why now, especially because my focus is skincare and aesthetics, yes, I actually have a monthly budget where I allow myself only a certain amount of money to go into stores and buy products to actually see, is this thing worth $10 or not? Because I don't want to lose touch with what it is to be a consumer. Because if I'm recommending a product for someone else to go buy, it better be worth it. And if it's not, I better sit up here and talk about why it's trash and you shouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, or talk about why it's trash for my oily skin, but why it might be right for somebody else. But I think it is very important to acknowledge that sponsorships do happen on social media platforms. I personally don't believe that makes them inherently bad, but am I biased for saying that? And I think what this means for you as a viewer and consumer of social media content is to be more skeptical, is to be very critical of who you put your trust into. Do keep in mind that just because something is paid doesn't mean it's bad. Again, for people like Michaela, she might not even be able to create content for you if she had a regular 9-to-5. Getting sponsorships from brands that she authentically loves allows her or Raw Beauty Christie or Miss Darcy or anyone else to even create content in the first place. And because of how big this has blown up, some people are actually wondering if this is all by design. Did Michaela or L'Oreal do or instruct this to be done on purpose?
But did anybody think that she did this on purpose?
I'm gonna say it. I think she did it on purpose.
And when it comes to my opinion, I do not believe that Michaela did this on purpose. I think if she were personally trying to draw attention to her lashes and incite this kind of drama, she would have made it a little bit more obvious. She would have been obvious that she was looking down and that you could see them. I think she was trying to pull a fast one based on literal tutorials that she's done on this in the past, trying to get money. Now, here's the catch. L'Oreal most likely had to review this fucking video before it went live. Michaela wasn't the only one who did a sponsorship with L'Oreal. L'Oreal actually had a set of influencers that they paid to promote this mascara, and a lot of people did really fucking good reviews that were authentic and yes, sponsored, but really helpful. If Michaela were showing her natural lashes, they looked fucking good. Why did we need to fake this? And because of that, because of the lawsuits, because this is obviously blatantly deceptive advertising, I don't think L'Oreal approved of this. I don't think they knew about it, and I'm actually waiting for them to make a statement. What this means for you is that you need to be more skeptical and more aware. What we let companies and some individuals get away with is where they will push. Where they stop is where we stand up and decide to push back. Now, if I were L'Oreal, this is what I would do to fix the situation. The first thing I would do is make a statement. Actually disclose. Did you approve this? Did you not? What the fuck happened? Address what happened and discuss why this does or does not align with your company's best marketing practices. Make a statement about how this even got through the review process and express your understanding for people's frustration. Literally listen to fucking people who are upset and hear what they have to say. Apologize on behalf of the partner, and internally create a new review process. Create new protocols to prevent this from happening in the future. Then communicate what you're doing internally to prevent a mistake like this from ever happening again. And when you share those steps of affirmative action that you as a company are taking, literally ask the audience for feedback. Do they agree? Do they disagree? Is there something that they're not thinking of that would also be helpful? And then use this as an experience to get direct feedback from your audience. Literally ask them, out of all of the influencers, which ones did you enjoy? What kind of advertisements are you enjoying? Who are you watching right now? That actually allows L'Oreal as a brand to build trust and a connection with their consumers so that they can actually serve their consumers with value that actually does something good for the world and the people who are paying to put money in L'Oreal's pockets. And if I were Michaela, this is what I would do to make it better. Number one, understand and come to terms with the fact that it is unfair, that an individual is going to get more criticism than a company. It is what it is. Admit the mistake. Right now, Michaela has said nothing and left people in radio silence. Speak up. Take responsibility for your actions. And I'm sure Michaela has many reasons and excuses as to why this happened, from stress to needing to pay for the wedding, from, you know, all of the things, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. Now is not the time to deflect or defend. Literally take responsibility for the actions that happened and understand why people are so fucking hurt. Think about what you're going to do going forward to not let this happen again, and then communicate that. Say, this is what I'm going to do to make sure this behavior doesn't get repeated. And don't say you're sorry unless you're actually sorry. Don't beg for forgiveness. The hard truth is that some people are not going to forgive you, and they have every right not to. And some people will. And those people who do choose to forgive you, those are the people that you need to listen to and treat like gold. Understand why they're hurt. Literally use this as an opportunity to ask them, what could I do better? But I also believe that humans should not be judged only on what they do, but how they fix the situation, how they respond to it, and how they correct it or don't correct it going forward. And I would actually like to use this as an opportunity to hear from you. Could you leave in the comments what you do or don't like about my content? Is there something that I could improve upon or do different? Is there a format of content that is created online, such as Michaela's, where you would like similar reviews for skincare? Please let me know, because when I create content along with the rest of my team, I think about the 16-year-old girl that was me who had acne and spent every single $1 on a cleanser that didn't work. And I remember how terrible it was to be in skin that I couldn't even look at in the mirror. And I still have breakouts. I literally have one right here, right now, but it doesn't define me anymore. And yes, I do product reviews and speak about how we can treat these things if we want, but my overall intention is to make sure that people understand the biology of their beauty and feel empowered about the products that they purchase and the things that they use as they learn to love themselves from the inside out. And if for some reason I'm not doing that well enough, or you think that there might be another way that I could do it or do it better, please fucking tell me, because I genuinely want to grow and know. And when it comes to situations like this with influencers or with companies, if you think it's wrong, don't let them get away with it. Every single dollar you spend has power. Don't put your dollars with companies or your views with individuals that you don't personally feel deserve it. Overall, it's quite the heavy video. Do remember to stay hydrated both orally and topically and reapply that SPF. Hopefully you have a good one by now. If not, we've got tons of content on that, both sponsored and non-sponsored. And overall, always remember to be beautiful both inside and out. I love you, and I cannot wait to see you in this next video, and more importantly, in the comments. Love you guys. Bye.